Hello. Sorry, I got very lost there. We can stream to Instagram. Somehow. Haven't quite mastered that one. So we'll leave that for now. Good evening. Welcome to your Lyceum evening. Just wait for a few people to join. Tra-la-la-la-la. So exciting. Tra-la-la. Hello. Welcome to our pre-Christmas Eve service. Hiya, Jane. Yeah, Reesh, how are you, darling? You all right? I haven't got a guest tonight. I didn't want to trouble anybody because obviously it's a very busy time of year. And so I thought, I'll come on and just have a little natter and see how we all are. We got the big day, less than 30 hours away. No, 29 hours away. So exciting. Been very pushed this year. Everything with the church has been about tradition for Christmas, which is interesting that this energy's just come in. That, we just want the tradition again. We want something secure, something solid, something we know, where everything's sort of changing and in shift all around us. It's nice to have. No, there isn't, Jane. It's nice to have, this sense of tradition again. So as you can see behind me, we are nearly ready for Christmas Day. I say nearly ready. We've got our Christmas Eve service on tomorrow. That'll be streamed live at 4:00. And then Christmas Day, as you may or may not be aware. We are open here on Christmas Day for lunch for anybody on their own or being isolated in their community. So we've got the volunteers have lined up. Thank you so much, those people who stepped forward. It can be a busy day. However, it's going to be a very rewarding day because, it's all about community. And I understand with a lot of churches and centres, their need to close at this time of year. That's fine. Absolutely fine. We all do what we need to do. But I'm fortunate here. We've got the premises, we've got the gear, the setup and the ability. Mind you, this year I'm down to one oven, where I used to have a twin oven cooker. I've now only got a one oven cooker. So logistically, that's going to be fun. So you might get your roast potatoes about 4:30. You can have them in a doggy bag, take home. Yeah, go ahead, Jane. But yeah, I know it'll all come together. Everything will come together. I don't know what you've all got planned, hopefully, with nearest and dearest and loved ones. So it's really emotive, isn't it, to be able to be with those who mean a lot to us. I know sometimes we can't do it because of distance. A lot of the friends that I've made online over the last few years, I would love to be in their company to talk of the devil, and there comes Jack. I would love to be in their company, but yeah, we do what we do. Hello, Marianne. You're right, darling. I'm fine, Mia. I've just got a little bit of a throat and a nose thing going on at the moment. It's quite annoying. So I'm dosing myself up like anything. So I'll either be well for Christmas Day or having a stomach pump. I don't know which. Anyway, it is this time of year, isn't it? Our thoughts go, and especially to those who've gone on before us. It's always that pause. No matter how busy we get that time to just reflect and look back and just think of people. I've got a lovely photo of my mum and dad on their wedding day, and I was having a chatter to them this afternoon. I'm sure they heard me. They didn't respond, but that's fine. Just saying, oh God, yeah. And having a laugh about things as well. I don't do it in a mournful way. The only one mourning is me. We've got to remember that. Spirit side of life, we've got this whole new adventure to rediscover. How is that? I go through little phases on things, and what's currently one of my little phases is when I talk about what I call the blink. And that's when we close our eyes this side of life and open them again the other side of life. And how that interacts with us must be fascinating. 2 seconds, really want to come to church, but I was told that you have secret cameras and audio equipment recording everyone separate to the Facebook Live. And people are talking, you gather intel and story. Yeah, well, Jane, just look at that logically, love. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to bother with an answer to that. Seriously, why would I? Really, why would I? So yeah, what I call the blink with people, it's just something that keeps coming up into my curiosity. Because I said to my team once when I was working as a medium, why do I never see where people are on the spirit side of life? Why don't I see where they are? And somebody just said to me in my ear, because that's their heaven, not yours. And I thought, well, actually, that makes an awful lot of sense. Because I'm very much a believer, number one, spirit love us. So when we do take that step, my philosophy, my understanding, my belief is that we will be in a world not too dissimilar to where we are now, because we will need that time to acclimatize. If we were thrust into another dimension where everybody is just to vibrate, we would go, what? So my belief is, initially, we are in a world very similar to this. Whether we call that the etheric world, that interland between spirit and physical life, whatever. We have a lot of terminology. But I think, yeah, we go to a place where we will be comfortable. Simon, it's good to see you too, sir. And very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year to you and Brian. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. I've been very envious watching some of your retreats, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, that must be amazing. Anyway, so yeah, Jane, I don't quite know where you're coming from, my darling. Yeah, sorry. Blink. That step into the next world. It's very interesting. I'm also working very much on this theory now about our interaction with the spirit world, because I see very often people try to make the spirit world a physical world. They touch in a physical world, and I can't quite see that. In fact, I'm just going to have to deal with something here because there's something not quite right. Yeah. Anyway, that irritates me. That really does irritate me, because I'm exploring more and more with my awareness here how we interact with the spirit. And obviously, when we're doing the evidential mediumship, we have all the We have all the all the emotions coming through. But I do wonder if there is a plane of existence where emotions aren't so prevalent. Indeed, if they're at all, it just is. It just is. Very interesting, very hard to put into words, but I've had a couple of experiences and I just thought, this is strange. This is strange. This warrants further investigation. Anyway, we're getting off the subject. You've got a little time with me, and you know what that's like. It's like an evening with Ronnie Corbett. I go wandering off down all these different tangents. So if anybody out there has got any serious questions about maybe their mediumship or things they may have heard. I mean, we've just seen a prime example there about I've got secret cameras and I'm recording people. Really? Really? Please be serious. Yeah, please post them, please. I'm going to give you what is my opinion. I can't give you, you know, we so often we chase after the answer in things. We're so busy, we want the answer. But I'm a very big proponent that the answer is only at the end of your quest for the answer. If you just get the answer to everything that you keep asking, where's the learning in there? There's a big difference between knowledge and experience. Knowledge is great. We need knowledge. We need to have that underpinning knowledge about our movement. We need to have that underpinning knowledge about various schools of thought on mediumship, on healing, on philosophy, and all the whole gamut of the gifts of spirit. So we do need that underpinning knowledge, but I'm a very big believer that when we're looking for answers, it is a journey. It is very much a journey. It's an expansion of our awareness, an expansion of our consciousness. Sometimes that journey is a little bit rocky. And some people sometimes find that something hard to deal with. You know, but I always say not every lesson comes wrapped in bows and with puppies. You know, it's... what's the old saying about the darkest night with the brightest star? Just on the edge of my consciousness there. But it is true, you know, we need sometimes where we are pushed, because when we're really pushed, that is when we rise. That is when we do rise, in one form or another. But we rise nonetheless. Hi, I'm here. I'm not doing mediumship on here. This is not the right platform for it. But there are many. If you want a electronic evidential reading, I would suggest you look out for Zoom services. Trouble with this platform is there's like a 30-second delay between me saying something and me getting the answer back, so it makes evidential work a bit of a nonsense. But yeah, if he's there, my darling, have a look for a Zoom service. That is where you will get that direct communication. The lovely Julie with her new bouquets. How are you? So yeah, very interesting. So much going on, and we seem to be going. People are saying about, you know, the vibrations of change, and this has changed and that's changed within spiritualism. I'm not sure so much it's changed, but I do think our awareness has expanded. Now, that's two totally different polar opposites there. To say everything's changed, again, we're working on this. You know, I always say that one of the basic human faults is we're always looking for somebody to blame or somebody to be our savior. So if we try and displace that responsibility and say, oh, well, the energies have changed, the vibrations have changed. And again, we're putting that out there onto something or someone else. I'm a very big believer of always bringing it back to self. And yeah, I've noticed differences in my mediumship and my philosophy. I don't put it down to the spirit world have changed. I put it down to of my mindset has changed. So, Lee, darling, just some thoughts there. I'm just throwing a few things in there, trying to start up a conversation. If you agree, great. If you disagree, great. You know, I love it. If you've got your own philosophy, that's brilliant. Just noticed something. That is a reflection of the candles on the table. It's not footprints on the ceiling. Johnny Jensen, what is your view on the... Oh, let's highlight you, sir. What is your view on the disclosure regarding UFO UAPs that is happening a lot in the USA at the moment? Regarding flight safety and transparency in relation to the reporting of these things, which is on the rise. Do you think that we are alone? Or are there examples of contact with beings other than humans? Good question, mate. Really good question. I saw a wonderful meme today, and I just I smiled. And the thing posed in this was, to say there is no other life in the universe is like taking a teaspoon of water out of the sea and saying, well, there can't be sharks because there isn't one in this teaspoon of water. I'll probably not explain that very well, but again, sorry, my throat and my head's just a wee bit fuzzy tonight. But yeah, what is life? You know, that's a really big question. Everything is alive. Everything has a life force. Everything around us here. This table made of wood, that had that life force. The books here have their own life force. So everything's got a life force. In fact, it's our understanding of what is life. If we bring it down into the metaphysical realms of everything is composed of energy. Energy is the underpinning key for all things, including life, whether it be animate or inanimate life. It is life nonetheless. I think now, you're the first person to ask me this, and I've got lots of thoughts. I do see an awful lot. There's a lot of rehashing of quite old, not philosophies, quite old schools of thought. They talk about, or is it Ashitar, the commander-in-chief of the forces that's got 10,000 spaceships waiting to pick us up. That story has evolved through each generation. Same players, different names, new energy for a new generation. A lot of it relies very much on orthodoxy. And again, you know, it's... So sorry, I just got distracted there. I'm going to have to remove somebody. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Life, Ashitar, all these things going on. This reverts back to what I've referred to earlier on. That was about, we're always looking either for a saviour or for somebody to blame. And these different thoughts and schools of thoughts going through the various generations all promise, very orthodox in the way they did it. They all promise salvation if you followed me, if you did this, if you did that. And do you know what? I've never had that from the Spirit. Spirit have never said to me, you got to do this or you got to do that. They've said, oh, have you considered what you have done? And I might think, oh, okay. So I'm a little bit wary there when we're talking about UFOs and things. I believe fully that life, or the expression of life, is expansive and it's not limited to anything, anybody, any one thing, but it's how we understand life. It's how we perceive life. I do think we may see. Listen, I'm a spiritualist, so all my thinkings come from that basic. Yeah, Jane, sorry, my darling. You've obviously got something wrong there, and I'd suggest you find the correct help. So, yeah, what is life? What is life? I think sometimes the things that we see may be beings of a different vibration. However, however, are they alien life forms, as in, because we need to put things into our physicality. So when we're talking about aliens, we again doing, actually, this is interesting, doing what we tend to do with spirit, of making them a physical concept in a physical world. Is this the same when we deal with people of higher vibrations? Do we then need, thanks Ali, do we then need to make them a physical thing, a physical being coming from, I mean, what have we got at the moment? I know we've got the Atlanteans. There's a lot of talk about starseeds, Arcturians. That's one of the very big buzzwords at the moment. So are we perceiving a different vibration, and our logical mind needs to put that into a category? So, you know, I understand, I can see where people are coming from when they start talking about Arcturians and things like that, which come from this galaxy, that galaxy. I do have a wry grin at times because it's amazing how much people know about physics and the mechanics of the universe when you're sat there on Facebook all day. But anyway, moving on. So, in answer, Johnny, very roundabout way. I do apologise. As I said, I've just got somebody there just being complete and utter nuisance. Yes, I believe that we can contact different levels of evolution. I am unsure about making them physical beings from a physical realm. I think, you know, if I accept that we've got two dimensions, so we've got this dimension we live in and the spirit dimension, both of which I've had evidence of, well, then I would be wrong to say that's it. Because if there's two, there must be more. But as I say, we do tend to get a bit Hollywood at times, don't we? We want to see, it's just quite funny, you see people saying, oh, I want the alien to land. Well, if one landed, they'd probably be the first one out the door. So, yeah, interesting, Johnny. It's one of these things we can explore, but it depends where we come in from our own philosophical understanding. Mine is everything is of spirit, one form or another. And trust me, I've been doing this for a little while now, and I'm really only scratching the surface. Please follow your desire, follow your school of thought. I always encourage people to do that. Don't be half thingied about it, you know, just think, okay, yeah, I'm going to go for it, but also look at it very logically as well. Do look at it logically. The one thing I would say in this day and age where everybody's got a mobile, except me, I haven't got a mobile phone, but everybody else has got a mobile phone, and with the quality of the cameras and everything to it, I would like to start seeing maybe a little bit more substantial evidence. And I know we have the theories about what's being hidden by various government institutions, but unfortunately, the state of the world at the moment, an awful lot of conspiracy theories abound. I'm not saying they're all wrong. But there is rather a lot going on. Because again, we feel like we've lost our life since 2020. We feel like we've lost so much. And when we get into that frame of mind, we are looking for something solid. And there's a lot of very well-educated, very good speakers out there who will come out with theories, and because it's good, makes us feel good. We tend to latch on, and sometimes discernment is thrown out the window with the baby with the bathwater. We've seen a wonderful example tonight of you are a delight, Jane. I look forward to meeting you. Yeah, just approach things logically. Seriously, and just approach it logically. So anyway, L. When I hear things like, are you drunk, or you don't act very spiritual, you don't act like a healer, I think the universe isn't really looking for actors to bring healing to this world. Oh, I see. Sorry. Thank you, Elle, for those kind words. Yeah, lovely. We used to have a facility on here, and I can't seem to operate it, where I could put some people in timeout. But anyway, not to worry. I'm never afraid of a little something. Oh, right, the blocks just work good. What else? What else we got to talk about? Plans. Actually, no, let's reflect on this year. So we'll reflect on this year tonight, and then next week we'll look forward into 24. So what have we done this year? Well, apparently I've pocketed all the money, according to Jane Crawford. Thanks, Jane. Yeah, good girl. Really? What have we had? We had the rally. Wonderful rally. And we had some great speakers. We had a lovely Stevie Trolland, Susan Brothwood Hughes, Elaine Bevan, Anne-Marie Hogan, Mark Stone. Really popular weekend, and it went down really well. We had lots of fun. And it's also really nice that these different people are coming together and having that chance to socialise as well. So there's another little sidestep from the rally weekends, that mediums are meeting up, coming together, talking. Yeah, it's really good. It is really good. But obviously the main thing with the rally is that we continue on with the educational side. A very big passion for education here in Poole. So we get these speakers coming in who are all, I always say, when they say, what do you want to talk about? I'll just say, talk about your passion. Bring your passion out. Because that always shows, when you're passionate about something, it really comes across in the delivery. So they all did that. They all had a wonderful time. I did work them a little bit too hard, hence some of the changes for next year's programme. We had the divine service in the morning where they all took part. Lovely Elaine Bevan was chairing, bless her. Yeah, and that worked really well, but I did overdo it a bit with them because we had the divine service straight into the rally and then a dem in the evening. And by 9 o'clock at night, we were all beginning to flag just a wee bit. So slight change for next year, not to work everyone. Sorry about this. Me and the rest of the country are coughing. So the rally, yeah, that was a good weekend. We've had some amazing visitors taking dems or private sittings or workshops. Something I do with the agenda or the schedule here is I don't try and make the mediums fit the schedule. You know, it's Saturday night, it must be dem night. Oh, it's Friday day, it must be private sit-ins. I try not to do that. I talk to the visiting demonstrators and say, well, what do you want to do? Because they've all got their own particular fortes. The lovely Sandra Mitchell-Atherius gives a great dem. She also gives really magic private sit-ins. Her private sit-ins are wow, absolutely wow. Highly, highly evidential. So she's back with us in first weekend of February. So we will have a mixture. We will have a dem night and we'll have private sitting. And it's just to keep it mixed up, keep it, keep it fresh. I was just to say, I don't like this. Oh, it's Monday, it must be circle night. Oh, it's Tuesday, it must be healing. You know, try different things. Some things we've kept in a schedule. The Monday night healing every fortnight now. That works really well. The healers come and go. We've got 26 registered healers here. We've only had a few occasions where they've all been in together, which is magical. But I also realise, people have got lives. They're all busy. Their mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, whatever. And they all have stuff. And they all work. A lot of them was, I think nearly all of them are still working, bar a couple. So I would just say, you come when you can. And it works really well because each week we always end up with about 7 or 8 at least of them here. The attendance from people wishing to receive healing has been really good. By the way, when I'm saying all this stuff, I'm not saying, look at me, aren't I clever? I'm just having this little recap. And I'm going through this in my mind of what's worked well and what hasn't. We stopped doing the Wednesday afternoon services completely this year. Now, we were following the, what's the word for us? The industry standard, where you have one demo week and then one divine service week. Well, number one, the pool of mediums, like everywhere else, has gone down, down, down. Since 2020, a lot of people stepped away, not yet come back, if they ever will, for whatever reason. And I look around at what the other churches, what we're all doing as a body in the area. And something I really picked up on was there wasn't a great deal of opportunity for self-development, self-awareness. I'm not saying there was nothing out there, but there was a lot of circles to make you a medium. Well, not everybody wants to be a medium. I always say, just get your self-awareness out there so you become aware of the spirit world, not to give messages, just to be aware. I mean, that to me is the epitome of the self-awareness. So anyway, we stopped doing the Wednesday afternoon services. And again, it's not just I want to change things, it's responding because the attendances were going down and down and down. Obviously now, heating, lighting, electric and everything. So we've got a minimum amount of money we need to open the doors, plus the fees for a medium. And it just wasn't making its way. Seriously wasn't. So we brought in these spiritual cafe nights, awareness nights. I've had another shift. We've got an open development circle, and that's picking up. That's going quite well. Hello, lovely Ashley. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. It's just changing things again because the whole world's changing. We keep a structure. There is a structure. But in between that, we will try different things, different events, and not just one. Try it once. Oh, nobody came. That's it. It's rubbish. We'll never do it again. You've got to invest a bit of time in these things and a bit of energy to make them viable. So we are trying different things. We're resuming our links with the Spiritists next year. In fact, about the third weekend of January, we have a lovely couple who were here a couple of years ago over from Brazil. He's a healer and a medium, and his wife's a wonderful healer. They'll be here giving a talk, and it's a Spiritist. Now, I find this fascinating. Their version of mediumship is so different to what we're used to. I was expecting like a stand-up dem, and then I was told, no, we do it in private. And I thought, oh, okay, like a one-to-one then. No, we do a group, but it's in private. And I thought, right, okay. And what's brought through, now, I always look for the evidence. I want the evidence out of things. And this demonstration of mediumship was bringing through some discarnate souls and helping them on their healing journey in the spirit world. Now, I'm looking at this going, yeah, it sounds nice, but it could be anything, you know. But I tell you what, we were sat together, and there was one person in particular who was brought through. So the medium's guide introduces a spirit through the medium. We hear a bit of their life story, and there are guides and helpers in attendance on the other side to offer assistance if they so wish to the discarnate soul. And I'm thinking, this is stretching my, I really don't know. However, Alison, have a lovely Christmas, my darling. Lots of love. However, one communication came through and the whole atmosphere of the room changed, and not in a good way. It just changed like that. And I thought, now you're talking. Now I've got something tangible that I can work with in my head. We keep saying to mediums, you need to trust. Well, yeah, I do trust, but some things I need that little bit of substance in some form or another. And as I said, the atmosphere changed totally. It really hit me in my solar plex, really did, and quite badly, because I was sat there thinking, if this carries, I might throw up, because it was that strong. When that communication had finished, the guide was still talking through the medium. And he said, we are so sorry for the effect this gentleman has had on some of you. And Lawrence, we are so sorry. We didn't realize it would trigger an old wound of yours. Well, I had a lot of surgery here, and that's what had happened. The solar plex went berserk, and where I'd had the surgery, it got incredibly painful. And I thought, wow, because I wasn't sitting there going, oh, this is hurting here. I was just sat there thinking, oh, please let this stop, because I don't know if I'm going to throw up or what here. So, yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. So I'm looking forward to them returning as well. And the healing is totally different. The healing is quite interesting. I don't know if anybody's heard of passes that you do with the hands. So the head healer has loads of assistants. The assistants will sit with each person doing the passes. Now, I find that quite off-putting. When I was sat there, I did find that off-putting. The healer walks down the line of people working on healing as he stood in front of people. Again, no word of a lie, stood in front of me, and I opened my eyes because I thought, why is he prodding me in the stomach? And actually, it's quite invasive. It really is a hard prod. I opened my eyes, nothing there. So I thought, wow, this really is interesting. This is our spiritualism, but in a totally different, put in a totally different way. Really, really interesting. So we can't wait for them to come back. What else have we got? What else? What have we done this year? I don't know. I seem to go from one thing to another. Our divine services going really well. Thank you, everybody. The attendance for them, amazing, absolutely amazing. Demonstrators coming down, most of them staying with us, is a huge boon. Who have we had? We had a lovely Val Williams. That was a treat. That really was a treat, because Val looks like my mum and talks like my mum. And she even has the same hairspray as my mum, I found out. I was in the kitchen. I went, please tell me that's not Elnet you're spraying. She went, it is. She went, oh, what's that, your mum's? I went, yep. Great teacher, great orator, great medium, lovely person, absolutely. We've had lovely Jack and Lola over a couple of times. They were here last Christmas, and that was such a joy. And then they came back later in the year. The wonderful Frederick came down, took a week's course. Stevie Trolland's been down, as I said, Susan Brothwood Hughes. Forgive me if I've not mentioned anybody. There's nothing, there's no slur there. It's just my head is very, very woolly at the moment. But yeah, we've had some amazing demonstrators come in. And I always look at them and I always marvel that they all work so uniquely. They all work in their own way. Yeah, and that's something that our religion, philosophy, and whatever you call it, really supports. This is why I get a little bit wary when I see the orthodoxy side coming in, because orthodoxy tends to smother. Oh, that's nice, Lee. We're at Malaya. Oh, you're back in the UK. Yay! Yeah. Stevie, it was great. Wonderful meeting you both in our online meetings and our physical meeting. We have this weird world now, don't we? We have our virtual world and our physical world as well. And sometimes they cross over, and it's a very odd feeling. Somebody you've been talking to online for a while and you meet them physically, it's like, ooh, I know you, but I've never met you. Very odd. So yeah, we've had amazing demonstrators coming down, taking workshops. As I say, we don't make the demonstrators fit our schedule. We want them to do what they love doing, and we make that work. So we're just coming into that little slight pause, he says, after Christmas lunch. We've got an evening dem mediumship. That will be Mark Stone and myself. And then New Year's Eve, we've got 3 gong bars now with Scania. That's been so popular. That's wonderful. And then I've got a few days rest. Now I've got a few days to put my feet up. This has got to go. I cannot be sick. I cannot be sick. Keith. Interesting thought. Keith Morn, during the meditation circles, nice to relax, chill and laugh, like-minded people on a fortnight basis. Who knows? Who knows? I know that the emphasis from upstairs for next year has been education, education, education. So that's going to be interesting how that's going to unfold and become prominent within our program of things. I do enjoy the circles. I enjoy the meditation circles. Actually, do you know what? Now, please don't take me the wrong way here. I didn't think I would get on too well with the development circle, the open development circle, because I can be a bit direct at times, and I thought I can be a bit direct at times, and I was just thinking, oh my God, this could be a recipe for disaster here. But actually, it's worked really well. I've taken a slightly different slant from it, and the lovely Jack instigated that. Thank you, Jack. So on our development circles, we focus on one facet of mediumship, and we will have a talk about it beforehand, including a whiteboard and diagrams, all get me. And then have a short meditation and then work on that facet. And actually, I like that because that's a nice structure. I sat in some circles where everybody's just giving off and rabbiting on all over the place. And as we've seen tonight, you know, not everybody is capable of presenting a cohesive string of words. And that's what I was worried. I'm thinking, oh gosh, I'm going to struggle in that energy. But now it's sort of like defined and set, and it is like a tutor lesson on its own right. It works really well. I'm really liking it. I'm so pleased. You know, it's like when you start something new and you're thinking, yeah, I'm not going to enjoy this. This could go just horribly wrong. But thankfully, no, it works. So yes, anyway, Keith, who knows? Who knows? I do need to do another little bit of a reshuffle for next year, and the circle side is definitely needed. Well-run circles are a big asset to our philosophy, our community. And I don't have to be running every single one. We can get people in to run one. So yeah, thank you. It just started me off on a trail of thought. Lovely Stevie Trollard. He's such a nice man, but don't tell him I told you that. Rest, goodness gracious, never known you to rest. I'll be raising my glass to you. Just the one glass, Steve. I should be raising a glass when I get upstairs, I can tell you. What else? Do you know what? I can't. This damn cold around me. My head is just like full of cotton wool. And I'm just trying to think back over this year. To be honest, I can't remember what I had for breakfast today. But we've had a good year. We have had a good year. We met some amazing people. We have a few tribulations as well. Things happen, but if you can sort out discourse without, you know, stoking the fire or maintaining the fire, which is the worst thing I see happen in some places. You know, if there is a discourse, get it sorted and let it go. Unfortunately, sometimes you have discourse, they leave it to fester, and it just gets worse and worse. It really is. Yes, Steve, a good hot toddy will sort that cold out. I agree. See, look, Steve Trolland has told me in a message that I need a hot toddy. It's good enough for me. Yeah, we need to. People remark when they come into the church and say, "Thank you, Reish. Boil some fresh ginger root and put a spoon of Manuka honey in the cup. You've left the whiskey out, dear. Where does this whiskey go?" Some people come in the church and remark and just say, "Gosh, the atmosphere in here is beautiful." One of the reasons, because it's many layered, is that if there is any discourse, we get in and sort it out. We don't let it sit and fester. We all believe, I assume, that spiritual healing works, that absent healing works, that by sending your thoughts of love and compassion out to somebody, they will receive the benefit of that thought. If you believe that, then how can you not believe that if you sit there and you're just putting out bile about things, people, whatever, That doesn't work. And I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again and felt its presence in churches and centres. You know, it's very difficult running a church and centre. I know that. Everybody out there has given their time freely to do it. God bless you. I know it is. And I know sometimes the hardest thing to deal with is the difficult things. But really, you know, if you leave the difficult things just sit there festering, you're probably making more work for yourself in the long run, doing firefighting, rather than going to the source of the blaze and just going, okay, we need to have a talk. You're obviously really not happy about something here. What is it? Let's see if we can work this out. When you say it like that, it sounds really easy, but actually it can be really difficult. But yeah. Anyway. I am going to cut short tonight. I'm going to follow Dr. Trolland's advice about having a little hot toddy. Don't forget, we have our Christmas Eve service tomorrow at 4 o'clock, not 11 a.m., 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. And then, as I say, if you're on your own or feel isolated and you're able to, please come down and join us. No fee, no service, just food and company. Very easy. It is a dry day. I must emphasize that it is a dry day. There are people coping with addiction, so it's across the board, no alcohol, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Anyway, people, have a wonderful, beautiful night. Apologies for being a bit short and a bit vague and a bit woolly. And apologies, I will go and have a little word with somebody after this. There's a name. There she is, right? Again, we don't let things fester. Have a wonderful, beautiful Christmas. And just remember, you know, it's not what's under the tree. It seriously isn't. There's so many people facing this Christmas, the first one, without that person there. Just enjoy the spirit of the season. Whether you follow the traditional or any other faith, doesn't matter. Love is love. That transcribes through every faith. Love is love. And just show that love, that time together. And just show that you love somebody. All right. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Take care. Lots of love. And we will do a little catch up next Saturday when I will be a whole lot better, won't I? And raring to go into 2024. But in the meantime, thank you. Thank you for your support throughout the year. I've really enjoyed these Lyceum nights. We've had fantastic conversations, really interesting and thought-provoking. Thank you, all you wonderful people that watch us online and putting your comments in there. Thank you also for the very generous people. I've never had so much fun opening up the posts as I have over the last 10 days. Thank you so much for that. And most of all, thank you for being you. Oh dear. We can't have this. Have a wonderful, peaceful night, everybody. Take care. Lots of love. God bless.